ready to hoist the colors? Now, time for the most in-depth look at the world of ECU athletics. Welcome in to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Now, here's your host, Stephen Igo.
Welcome in, Hoist the Colors on a Friday, December 20th edition of the show. A lot to talk about on this football Friday. Again, for the second straight day, we are going early because ECU football practice. Coming up later around showtime, we'll talk with head coach Blake Harrell, offensive coordinator John David Baker. So we want to make sure we're over there for that. We'll do that. So if you're watching live, you can comment on our YouTube chat, our Facebook chat, or our X, and we will get to it throughout the next hour. So looking forward to this show. It is a football Friday, and I appreciate Bobby Harvard, who's in studio, for changing his schedule to make it in studio early. How's it going?
Yeah, good. I'm glad not to be on 95 this week. Glad to be here in studio. Just got my second cup of coffee in on the way in here. We've been running behind a little bit this morning. One of our children, I'm not going to name out specifically which one, was playing with our remote for our fan and light in our bedroom, and it was missing all last night. So our fan was on all night on turbo speed because
you couldn't reach it and turn it off.
No, it's just an electric one, so there's no pull down strings or anything like that. And I didn't want to turn it off and be like sweating in the middle of the night. I'd rather be cold and bundled up under blankets. But
you there.
Yeah, it was. So we finally found it this morning, and then that's why I walked in like 2 minutes before we started. But do y'all have I know y'all had your Christmas party last night. Are there any lingering headaches this morning?
Luckily, at least for me, not, because I had to drive home. So I had to make sure that I was good to do that. What about you, Philip? You got there a little late, so you didn't have as much time to partake.
I had 2 drinks. Also, I found out on Wednesday, I think it was. Yeah. Found out like late Wednesday my blinker was out on my back right, so I didn't want to. I already have a reason to get pulled over. Don't want to give them more of a reason with having drank too much. So I had 1 glass of bourbon after dinner and 1 beer. So no lingering headaches, especially being on Thursday night. Got a full day of work today, but yeah. And
it would have been Friday.
My only lingering headache is the fact that we didn't win $20,000 in fast money, because Stephen and I's sports team, along with Dom and PJ, did win the Family Feud, but fast money, the question was, what do you see a lot of at Christmas time? I said lights, and it was 0, and I'm going to be ticked off about that for the rest of my life.
Christmas trees was the number 1 answer, but I mean, like, you see lights at Christmas time. How is that not an answer?
That should probably be number 2.
Yeah, I mean, if not number 1. So look, credit to Patrick Johnson, for showing up, but also really delivering with some of our picks. So we beat the sales team and the office team, the sports department, kicking everybody's tail in Family Feud.
There you go, representing. Good job, guys.
They say sports people don't know anything besides sports, but clearly that's true, because there were no sports questions. Clearly that's not true, excuse me. It probably is true, but it is what it is. All right, what do y'all want to talk about? Denver Broncos choking?
Yeah.
Playoff game? Or
I'm down.
Potential playoff opportunity?
I got plenty of thoughts on this game.
We'll start there. Congrats to Bobby and Philip for getting the pick right, by the way. They had Chargers -2.5. I, once again, got it wrong. I did say that everything was pointing to a Chargers victory last night. Speaking of headaches, the only reason I have a headache, Bobby, is because the Broncos kept me up. I didn't go to sleep till like after midnight thinking about that game. And it's been a while since Denver has been in a spot to where I really cared whether they won or lost, and I keep having to remind myself that, nobody expected them to be in this spot. They're still ahead of schedule. They're not going to win the Super Bowl even if they make the playoffs, so it's really not that big of a deal. But they're here, and I really don't want them to choke away a playoff spot, and I still think they will get in. But should have won last night. They were up 21-10. They were playing better before I started watching them, so I should have just stayed at the Christmas party after hours. Credit Justin Herbert for making plays, Philip, but Denver should have won that game, and there was some, I'm not going to say shady officiating, because I don't think the officials were out to get the NFL, or the NFL was out to get the Broncos, but they didn't catch any breaks. We got the stupid end of half, whatever it's called, free kick rule from like 1940. I don't know if you saw this, Bobby, but there was a catch interference at the end of the half, which, by the way, the gunner was getting blocked into the guy. That was ignored. But then I'm fine with getting an untimed down. But why are we giving away a free kick with no rush, and they get to kick at the spot? So they don't even have to, do the 7 yards behind holder snapper deal. They just get the kick. Free kick, no rush. So that made it a 57-yard field goal when they should not have gotten a clean field goal attempt. It would have been 64-65 with a rush if they would have had to kick it normally. But I don't know, Philip. I got a lot of issues, but the game turned right there. That was a huge momentum swing.
It was, and honestly, had they caught the fair catch cleanly, they obviously still would have had the opportunity to do it, but then it would have been roughly a 70-yard kick. Now, however, Cameron Dicker can take the full steps of a kickoff. He doesn't have to do the normal 3 steps, so it's still a potential to hit that one from 70. Joey Sly tried one in London back in 2019 from 60-plus, and he had more than enough leg, and he just pushed it right. The people in England clearly had no idea what was going on. Half the American fan base didn't know what a fair catch free kick was. But, yeah, that was bad. Like you said, he was blocked in his direction. I don't know if he was necessarily blocked into him, but what happened is the gunner stopped his momentum, kind of fell to the side of the player because I don't think he could have kept just running and missed the guy. So the returner just sticks his knee out and trips him and then flops. They call it, which was bad. Herbstreit and Al Michaels are so obsessed with the fair catch free kick, they agree with the referees wrongfully. Then later in the game, you've got the extremely late slide from Justin Herbert that trips the defender, causes the defender to fall on him. They throw a flag. That's tough to see as an official. I will say you're not ever looking at the feet there. So I can get him missing it, but Herbstreit continuously is that's the right call, and then he doubles down on it. Then they come out of a commercial break. He's like, what a bonehead play by the Broncos. It's like, Herbstreit, you're so good on college. Why is he such an idiot?
He's bad on NFL.
On
it's
NFL,
terrible.
and this is not the first time. He's a moron when it comes to NFL. It's like he forgets football. I don't get it. So there's that. There's the really bad missed PI call that now Bo should have made a better throw. Bo had a touchdown and he botched it. But they don't say anything about that. I mean, it was just
guy hit him in the face. Classic underthrown ball. Receiver trying to come back. DB doesn't turn around. Hit him in the chest, then hit him in the face for the ball got there. No call. That would have put him in field goal territory in a 1-score game. The play on the slide, that would have been 4th down. Instead, this 1st and goal, they score a touchdown after that. So there was a lot that went against the Broncos, and I'm ticked off about it.
And I think the Chargers had 2 penalties all game or something, no holding calls on the line. I don't know. Now, they did let Denver play. Most of their penalties were the couple we've mentioned, but I don't know. Denver did not make too many 3rd and long. At the end of the day, look, you let up too many 3rd and longs. Yeah, no running game. That underthrown ball by Bo. Denver did not really deserve to win that game because they folded in the second half. But I was more ticked off at Herbstreit and Michaels than actually was the officials. I think because they never they backed the officials even when they screwed up, and it's are you jerks being paid off? What is this?
It was one of those games that makes you scratch your head at times. Which we could talk about NFL and officiating all day, but I don't know, Bobby. Are you a fan of Herbstreit on NFL? I feel like it just doesn't feel right.
Maybe I just don't listen to him close enough. I agree it doesn't feel right, but I've never. I know there's a few instances where I've been like, that's you're talking about college rules, not the NFL rules, and you're calling an NFL game, but never to the point I've been this angry as you guys are right now.
I like that you're just sitting back and letting us rant.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean. Because I did relate when you mentioned, nothing was expected of the Broncos.
Right. Same
Same thing with the Commanders right now. And that's what I try to remember and tell myself when I get worked up. Our over-under for the Skins was 6.5. We got 9 wins right now. We're playing with house money. So, I mean, we were projected to have a top 8 pick. And, right now, it's just everything's house money. It's still frustrating nonetheless, but trying to keep that perspective. And also – I think our roster is a lot more depleted than y'all's. Defensively, y'all are really, really good.
At times.
Yeah. And
we're still hit with that Russell Wilson $50 million dead cap.
Brutal. But the Walmart people will get you covered here in a little bit once all that wears off, and they can spend their free bucks on all the bonus signing bonuses and stuff. That's kind of the way to get around it with rich owners. I will say right now, my frustration is with Elon Musk. I am so pissed at Elon Musk right now.
At Twitter?
No, not at Twitter. Normally I like Elon. But they had the bill. I don't even know if it ever got signed last night, but the RFK land transition was in the bill. And really all it was saying was the land was going to go from the federal government to the district. So the district then owned the land, and then it was literally just land transfer. There was no money about it. Well, one of the Twitter people, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, that works for Elon, and Elon retweets a bunch of his stuff, falsely put out there, our federal tax-paying dollars are going to have to pay for a $3 billion stadium. So then Elon retweeted it, and then they immediately rejected the bill because of that, and then took that language out and then resent it back out. And I'm so angry because, like, there's been so much work going on to get back at RFK Stadium. And
so they're just going to build a new stadium at the location?
So they would demolish RFK, and then they would completely put, like, a brand new dome. I've heard it's going to have a roof stadium and all that stuff. So if that never gets passed, then it looks like they're still in Maryland. But that's what I'm pissed about this morning.
That's understandable. Yeah, we can both. You were at the Military Bowl in 2010.
Yep.
So we can both attest to how crappy RFK Stadium is.
It was just. I mean, the fact that DC United was still playing in there regularly at that time, because we were in the United locker room. That was the locker room they had. But yeah, it was a dump. You kind of felt like walking through it, the stadium was going to fall apart at any moment.
All right, we got the comments section. Should probably check that. Forgot we're live for a second. Grant Matthews says, "Name them, Bobby. Who is the culprit?" I think is he talking about
my children who stole child who stole the remote. Yeah.
Let's not call out children on this show. Shores 444 says, "Let's go. What's up, fellas?" Grant says, "Bobby getting political on this Friday morning." Chance says, "Good morning, fellas. 3 college football games today. We will pick all those, Chance, here shortly." I was going to pick, guys, every bowl game for the next week, but there was like 12 games total, so I was like, we can't. And plus, I don't want to be picking some random bowl game for next Wednesday when I've done zero research on it. Not that it matters, because I'm not going to win in the picks anyway, but my solution, and you guys can shoot this down or agree with it, let's just send in our picks day by day, and then we'll keep tally of and update the folks when we come back, whenever that is.
I'm good with that. That's a lot more work on Phillip, so I'll defer to Phillip.
Yeah, no, I'm good with that. Let's especially, I'm not really working next week, so until later in the week, so I'm good with it. Maybe we regroup next Friday about how we're going to handle the following Saturday, because I think there's like 8 bowl games next Saturday. But at least for the rest of this week. So right now, to let everybody know, we're doing the 2 bowl games today, which if you're listening on radio, one of them will already be live when you hear us pick it. But because we're recording at 9:30, we won't have known how the game began, because one of them's at noon. And then we're doing the 4 college football playoff games. But I'm good with, I think there's 1 game Monday, 1 Tuesday, like 1 or 2 Thursday. If we want to pick those 3 or 4, yeah, that's good. But we'll talk about next Saturday later, because that could be a little bit of a cluster, especially with trying to work the ECU game. And,
we got to figure that out. And we got to figure out if we're going to do a 1 or 2 hour show next Friday when we come back. So I still haven't discussed that. Quickly, before we get a break, any ECU thoughts, Bobby? The portal is obviously rampant. And, all right, so I was texting, speaking of portal, Sir Cookie Pants is in the comments section. Says, "What's the recruiting scoop, I go? We desperately need some commitments." Well, Sir Cookie Pants, if you're a subscriber on Hoist the Colors, you have a little insight. I've told what positions. A couple of commits yesterday that are actually, let's see, there's now 4 commits that are silent that have not announced.
Ooh, on top of the ones we already know.
This is, I think, total.
Okay, so Benton, the long snapper, both public.
On top of the 3. Yep.
Okay.
So technically you've got 7 commits. Now, one of those is a junior college player who's going to announce on Christmas. And then you've got some other commitments as well. So I was texting with one who was an FCS All-American. He's committed. He's planning to announce today if all goes according to plan. So I've shared that name on the Hoist the Colors message boards. And still need some linemen. Need a lot of linemen. Obviously, Justin Benton, a good start there. You got the snapper. You got Tegan Wilk. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on what's been happening, Bobby, but feel free to share on any ECU thoughts before we take a break.
Yeah. I saw the list that you put out there for the amount of visitors they had. So that did excite me. Very clearly, they have positions that they're attacking and bringing people in bulk, which is the right strategy at this time of the year. I think my frustration just comes from the mayhem of it all. I mean, Dave Clawson has come out and said that's why he's retiring and that's why he's stepping away from Wake Forest. I mean, it's been discussed ad nauseum on every sports radio show, including this one. Like, there needs to be regulations, and I know y'all were talking about the JUCO stuff yesterday. That one irks me because, like, those kids that go to JUCO most of the time are because of behavior issues or grade issues. They have the same opportunity as everybody else throughout their high school career to get things straight, and they make wrong decisions and have to go the JUCO route. So they should not be granted all this extra years of eligibility to go play. That's just my opinion and my thoughts on that. But, yeah, I think we'll see some names come in here shortly, which I know people are getting a little timid. Charlotte, pulled some people again, but I'm curious, do they just have hidden NIL money, or did people just really want to go to Charlotte?
I've talked to somebody who knows some coaches there that said they have no NIL money right now. So, I mean, and basically Biff took it all with them. So
yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, I mean, Albin, their new coach, has obviously had success. I don't know if he's telling, they got a guy back that was in the portal that ECU was recruiting who's a good center, and then they added a JUCO center that had committed to ECU that then flipped after he visited Charlotte. So, I don't think that was a huge loss, but it was still surprising when you're losing a guy you thought was committed, then he flips the next day. But that just shows how stupid some of this stuff is.
No doubt. And for ECU, I do like, I know Coach Aldridge is now named the defensive coordinator. I'm excited how young our staff is. Blake Harrell's in his early 40s, and then you got these Aldridge at 35, and then Baker's 34. So it's a young staff that can relate well to the guys. It was very interesting. It seemed like they were putting a lot of those defensive offers out there before Aldridge was officially hired. So I started thinking in my head, they probably know who they got, because they wouldn't be putting these defensive offers out otherwise, unless, if there was going to be a drastic scheme change of some sort, which it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case here. So I'm glad that they're out there and helping recruiting. I know we had that GM hire, I think, since the last time I was on as well. I've reading the message boards. I know people are kind of complaining about that hire, but to me, it's a GM role at a G5 program at ECU that has not been successful recently. What more did you expect? The fact that we got a guy experienced in that role from a Power 4 program, I'm happy with.
He's dealt with NIL, I'm sure, and he's dealt with the portal at length. And so, I mean, you can look at the Purdue results and see, obviously they haven't had a lot of success, but he's also only been there 2 years, so it's not like he's been constructing the roster from front to back.
Right, and he's not on the field scheming and doing all that stuff.
He's more just handling the NIL, which is what I think more the GM – it's not like he's out there making trades and that sort of stuff. Obviously, he will input some talent stuff, but – he's more putting together the NIL plan and all that. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We will make some picks. We got bowl games to pick. We got to pick the college football playoff first round. We'll do that on the other side. This is Hoist the Colors.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you farm to fork beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to fork beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's best small town.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked to order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Sawyer's Fun Park in Winterville is now open. With over 40,000 square feet of family fun, daily money-saving deals, and a full-service restaurant, Sawyer's Fun Park is guaranteed to have something the whole family will love. Test your ninja skills on our 2-story obstacle course or head over to one of our 5 rock walls and race your friends to the top. And when you've worked up an appetite in our laser tag arena or our one-of-a-kind ropes course, grab a table over at the restaurant and try our world-famous Southern Monster Fries. Reserve your spot today at SawyersFunPark.com and come join in on the fun.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
Back to Hoist the Colors with Steve and Igo.
Drink up, big hearty Joe-ho.
On 94.3 The Game.
Hoist the Colors on a Friday, December 20th edition of the show. Bobby Harward in studio. Philip Pilkinen behind the glass producing, doing a fine job as always. Want to plug Basil's as they are sponsoring today's show and Bobby's appearance. Check it out. Basil's Restaurant and Pizzeria, 1675 East Fire Tower Road by the AMC Movie Theater. Great spot. Recently had takeout from there. Got the beer cheese dip with the fried pitas, which my son loves, and we ate that along with the hibachi skewer salad, and I got some pizza. So you can get a little bit of everything there, Bobby.
Yep. Can't go wrong, honestly. I've been rotating with some of the sandwiches and hot subs they have. So I did been doing the meatball, the chicken parm sub. I did cheesesteak, which was kind of threw me off because, I mean, it is an Italian restaurant, and they had some, like, pizza sauce in the cheesesteak sub, so that threw me off a little bit, but still good.
It's good. Everything on the menu is quality. I've never had a bad thing from Basil. So check it out, 1675 East Fire Tower Road. All right. Do we have standings update on our picks?
Yeah,
Philip?
we do.
You can just read the first two in the order.
I've got to do a little math here because I technically updated them after last week, and last night technically counts for this week. So after last night's victory, I am now 192. Bobby is 97 and 95, and Igo is 88 and 104.
No. What?
Huh?
I didn't hear that last part.
Mike cut out. Sorry.
Yeah, I did go 4-2 in college in bowl picks, but I went 0-6 in NFL. So.
Wah, wah.
And you lost last night for this.
And I lost last night. Yep.
So you're 0-7.
Gosh. Hey, well, good thing we're starting with college. And we're starting with the Cure Bowl, baby.
Which is currently going on if you're listening on radio.
Currently happening. We're picking this game at 9:54 a.m. as we sit here and discuss it. So this is a legal pick. Ohio is a 5.5-point favorite against Jacksonville State. This is a head coachless game.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Rich Rodriguez from Jacksonville State to West Virginia. Ohio, Tim Albin to Charlotte. So I have no idea who's playing. I don't know who's coaching. I am just going Ohio, by the way, a 5.5-point favorite. I'm just going to take Jacksonville State and the points.
I'm going to go Ohio. I was trying to figure out why the spread was this high for this game because I thought Jacksonville State may even be favored, but I forgot Rich Rod is at West Virginia. singing "Take Me Home." So give me the Bobcats.
2 weeks ago, I did not pick the Bobcats, and it bit me in the rear end. Fool me once, shame on you. Not going to make the same mistake twice. Give me the Bobcats.
Projected attendance for this game?
47. Oh, okay, 4.
497.
I said 47.
Oh, 47. This probably falls somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
If you take out the teams and parents, like legitimate
people,
fall somewhere
like
in the middle.
29 probably be the answer.
I can't wait for that one. And the fact that it's 12 noon on Friday.
Well, we're at press conference. We won't even watch it.
No.
I mean, I might watch the second half.
Gasparilla Bowl, Tulane in Florida. This is a 3:30 kick, I believe. Sometime in the mid-afternoon. Don't quote me on that. I'm trying to find it here quickly. Yep, 3:30 kick, ESPN2. Tulane 9-4, Florida 7-5. The Gators are 10-point favorites. They have played well down the stretch. This is in Florida. You would expect a pretty partisan Gators crowd. Tulane not really known for traveling.
They're not really known for fans.
They don't show up to their own games.
Tulane not really known for fans. This is in Raymond James Stadium. I don't even know who's playing quarterback for Tulane because Menza's in the portal.
No, he's committed to Duke.
That's right. Committed to the Blue Devils. 10 points is a lot, though. And is Florida actually motivated to play this game?
Yeah, I don't know if they can. I don't know how many seniors are on their roster. If they have a lot of seniors, maybe, but I know nothing about Florida.
I'm gonna go Florida here. I just think looking at Tulane, if you really look at them against good teams, they have struggled. And I think that continues, especially with Menza in the portal, although they do have some other capable quarterbacks on the roster. So give me the Gators.
I'm going the Gators as well. Since I'm going to be very quick with it, I'm curious. I know we just talked about Tulane's guy going to Duke. Philip, what the heck with Malik Murphy? Not only leaving Duke after a successful season, but then going to Oregon State. Like, that one just seems off.
Yeah, so it kind of sounds like they told him, like, hey, get out of town. We have a better guy than you. That's, I guess, the reason he left. But the fact that he went to Oregon State, I feel like there could have been a lot more places he could have landed on his feet. Coach Logan thinks he's phenomenal. I think he's okay. But I think he's definitely better than an independent right now who I don't even know what their schedule looks like next year.
All right, so have you picked this game, Philip?
Oh, no, I didn't. Chomp. Why not? I think Florida's quarterback is at least playing. So
Ty Thompson, by the way, is going to start for Tulane, and then I think the plan is for him to start and then enter the portal. Or maybe he's already in the portal but is going to start as basically a showcase game. So that could be a factor. Maybe he, speaking of Oregon, and the state of Oregon, he used to be at Oregon, so maybe he plays well in his showcase game as he transfers. As Tulane's already got another quarterback committed. So all this stuff is just dumb. College football playoff, let's get in some games where they actually matter. Indiana's at Notre Dame. I saw snows on the ground in South Bend. Notre Dame, a 7-point favorite. I think this is a close game until the second half, and I think Notre Dame at home is just going to be a little too much here. So give me the Fighting Irish to cover the 7 and win. Bobby?
Wake up the Echo. I'm going to say it again. Wake up the Echo. I got my Notre Dame shirt at home waiting for me to put on when I get home. I didn't want to wear it during the show because it's ECU-centric. Wake up the Echo. They get it done. Probably win, I think, somewhere between 8 and 10. I think it's going to be a really close game. I'm really excited about these games being at on-campus stadiums, too.
Yeah, this is weird, right? Like, Indiana's won battle test games. Ohio State, they didn't look good. Notre Dame's beat Army. Okay. They didn't play a gauntlet of an ACC slate. Their one loss was a bad loss, but whatever. That was 3 months ago. So, it's weird, but I'm going to go the home game. South Bend, Indiana really probably is on paper the worst team in this field, I think. I really do. So, I think they can backdoor cover this one. I think they're up 4, up 5, something like that, and they score late and put them away.
I'm glad we're all riding with this one together because I was nervous about this pick. So the fact we're all Notre Dame here makes me feel a little bit better.
It feels like Notre Dame is due for another choke game, though. I will say that. And it would not shock me if they lay an egg tonight. 28 degrees at kickoff, says Grant Matthews. Chance Scott says me and I going the same way on every game. This is either really good or really bad. Probably really bad chance if you've been paying attention.
Well, for your college picks, it'd be really good.
Maybe. At least respectable. Jansen Kidd says Indiana Notre Dame is being played in the snow globe, the way the good Lord intended this sport to be played.
Amen, band domes.
No doubt. And Grant Matthews adding some bowl knowledge. By the way, the first Cure Bowl was 2015 between Georgia State and San Jose State. And the first Gasparilla Bowl was 2008, South Florida versus Memphis. So there's your bowl knowledge. Jansen Kidd also adding the Basil's crab dip is life-changing, as is the buffalo dip. So wanted to catch up on the comments there. Let's continue on with our picks. SMU is at Penn State. This is another game that is going to be very cold. Penn State is a 8.5-point favorite. I've been saying all along that I was going to take Penn State here because I think SMU is going to struggle in the cold. But you know what? This counts as a big game for James Franklin, and he may win it, but they're definitely not going to win it going away. I think SMU is going to show up motivated after some of the talk about how they don't deserve to be in by some pundits. So give me the Stings to cover 8.5 on the road. I don't think they'll win, but I do think they cover.
Give me the Nittany Lions. I hate SMU. Hate. Like all caps, if I was sending a text message, all caps with a little flow or whatever, I just despise I'm going down there and playing. The whole place just sucks. Like it's just
small.
They do
also have no fans.
Yeah.
No
and
fans.
Literally, it's just like a bunch of donors that have gotten them to this position. How Philip thinks Indiana's the worst team in the playoff, I think it's SMU. SMU is up there for me with the Phillies. They are up there with the New York Football Giants of like teams that I just
never
despise.
heard SMU compared to the Phillies.
Wow,
I hate them.
know this.
I have a list of just like top teams that I hate.
SMU, he just hates
SMU is up there. I cannot stand them. I think the Nittany Lions get it done. They win by 2 touchdowns or more.
Wow. I don't know if I'm going that far, but as much as we love the bag on Penn State, can't win the big one.
Y'all are going to regret this.
I am going to regret this.
Right now.
But look, they're finally getting a home playoff game of all things. I think they rally behind this. This is really a spectacular event for them. This fan base thinks they deserve it, even though they probably do not. This place actually, I predict, will be the best atmosphere out of all 4 of the games this weekend, and that brings the Nittany Lions over the top. Give me Penn State.
This will be the best atmosphere until they fall behind 7-0 and the place goes tension that you can cut with a knife, because that's how this program is. Go Mustangs.
Keep hating.
Somebody did say, never heard any SMU hate before, so Bobby, the first person to publicly just bash SMU.
I can't stand those guys.
Nobody else cares about them. That's the thing.
Well, and then in basketball, they hire freaking Larry Brown and all that other BS.
They do
like,
just do some sketchy stuff. They're pretty sketchy. Quietly sketchy. Clemson's at Texas. Texas is a 12-point favorite. That's a lot of points, but Clemson, to me, is a fraud. I think Clemson hangs around for a half, and then this turns into kind of what happened against Louisville and against Georgia, and Texas scores too many points for them to keep up. Not sold on Clemson's offense, so give me the Longhorns at home.
That's what I'm going to is the Clemson offense against the Texas defense. Just don't have a great feeling about it. Hook 'em horns. They get it done. I think it's close really early, but then I think Texas continues to separate as the game goes on.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sold on Texas's offense either. But I don't know if Clemson will be able to score more than 3 points in this game. I think it's actually lower scoring. I think Texas probably does cover, but I would not be surprised if this is like 24-10, and it is. I think this could be the most boring of the 4 games for sure.
Tennessee is at Ohio State. Ohio State, a 7.5-point favorite. I'm not going to overthink this one. Volunteers. I think there's a lot of pressure on Ryan Day, and I think Tennessee is going to go on the road and win. And I think that, look, I mean, Ohio State may be the most talented team NIL-wise. They probably have the richest budget, so maybe it all comes together for them. But after the Michigan game, I think they got exposed a little bit, and I think Tennessee is going to be a hard matchup for them. Give me the Vols.
This one, I'm so torn. Defense plays. and I think Tennessee's defense could carry into Ohio State. But I'm also really concerned about Tennessee's quarterback play. If he's on, he can light it up. But if he's not on, then they're in worlds of trouble. But this game, though, to me is what makes college football so great. All the fan banter back and forth. I sent y'all the message earlier that somebody played Rocky Top in all the Waffle Houses in Columbus, Ohio. Then I saw recently somebody changed on Apple Maps maybe, or one of the maps. They changed the Buckeye Stadium to Neyland Stadium North. And so just the banner back and forth between the fan bases, a lot of it seems to be coming from the Tennessee side. So give me the Buckeyes.
Yeah, look, Milroe's not great. He's not going to be able to go out there and win them this football game.
Wait. Milroe plays for Bama.
Oh, yeah. What's
Nico?
Didn't Milroe used to play at Tennessee?
No, you're thinking of Milton from last year.
Milton, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's not that good.
You don't even know who the quarterback is. So we know you're taking Ohio State.
Well, here's the thing. Not enough to win him this game. But Dylan Sampson, his ability to run the football, he's averaging almost 6 yards a carry. He's going to ground and pound. It's going to make it a low possession game. And low possession games are close games. Ohio State by 1 score, so give me Tennessee plus 7.5.
Ohio State, 28 degrees at kickoff is the plan there. You've got 26 degrees at kickoff at Penn State. Obviously, tonight in South Bend, 28 degrees, chance of snow. And it'll be a balmy 63 degrees at Texas for Clemson, Texas. So there's your weather report. Let's get a break in. We'll come back. We got a question about the show schedule next week we'll address. We'll also make NFL picks. This is Hoist the Colors.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
Looking for a great deal on a new Nissan?
At Greenville Nissan, we've got a great selection of new Nissans for under $30,000.
The stylish Nissan Sentra, offering top-notch fuel economy. The Nissan Altima, known for its comfort and technology.
The Nissan Kicks, the perfect combination with its compact design and performance. The Nissan Versa, delivering incredible value without compromising on features. And don't forget the Nissan Rogue, an award winner for 10 years in a row. Drive it home just for $22 down and $349 a month.
Visit GreenvilleNissan.com today.
Greenville Nissan, where we drive to serve.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arrgh!
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt & Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt & Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Here there be pirates. Back to Hoist the Colors with Steve and I Go. How good is this? On 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Hoist the Colors here on a Football Friday. Bobby Harvard in the studio, brought to you by Basil's. Check them out. 1675 East Fire Tower Road by the AMC Movie Theater. Great spot for lunch, dinner, whatever you need. All right, Philip Pilkington producing. Chance Scott's in the comments section. He says that I believe me and him have the same pick for the college football playoff. He has a parlay of every pick.
Oh, gosh.
He also says Will Howard's a very bad quarterback. So
There hasn't been a good quarterback in college football in 2 years. Let's be honest. They're all bad.
There's a lot of bad ones out there. But there's, Dylan Gabriel's pretty good.
When your two Heisman 1-2 are not quarterbacks,
This is very
it's
true.
a bad year for quarterbacks.
Jansen Kidd says it is going to be an all-timer comedy when Tennessee wins, tears down the goalpost, and marches it to the river. Ohio State fans' heads will explode.
That would be awesome.
I would love to see that.
They will fire Ryan Day on the spot.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah. NFL, gentlemen, y'all are already one up this week. Again, I can't win, so it doesn't matter. I've already eliminated myself. But y'all had Chargers last night. I had Broncos. It was an emotional pick. But also, I said my head was telling me Chargers, and I was like, let me go against that because what I've been picking hasn't worked anyways. We'll pick the rest of the slate now. Some really good Saturday games. Man, Saturday's slate is going to be incredible between CFP and these two NFL games. The first is Texans at Chiefs. Mahomes, we expect to play, correct?
Yeah, there's no
He's
playing.
Okay. He's been practicing full, so whether he's 100% or not, I guess we'll find out a game. But either way, Chiefs 3.5-point favorite at home. Texans just aren't good. The Texans are I shouldn't say not good, but they're not as great as everybody thought they would be. KC at home, still fighting for the number one overall seed. I think they win this game, and I don't know if Houston keeps it as close as people think. It's going to be 31 degrees at kickoff. Houston's not really an outdoor team, so give me KC at home to cover 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, Mahomes is a drama queen and just milked all that injury stuff. So he's playing. Chiefs at home in the cold. Texans haven't been great. With these great Saturday games also means great Christmas Eve or Christmas Day games because they're just flipping who they play here for Christmas. But give me the Chiefs here.
I'm not going to overthink it. Think this one, KC.
KC at home. If you can take 3.5 with KC at home, I feel like you got to take that
against anybody but Buffalo.
Yeah. Steelers are at the Ravens. 6.5-point favorite. The Baltimore Ravens are. And now I said last week I fell into this trap. The Steelers, if I'm getting this many points in Philly, I took the Steelers and it bit me. I think did we all have the Steelers?
Look.
I think so.
This week I'm not going to fall into that same trap. I think the Ravens need this game. They're at home. I think they score a bunch of points early. Pittsburgh fights back, but I think the Ravens win by a touchdown. I'm going Baltimore at home, even though it's a lot of points for rivalry.
We did all pick Pitt last week.
And I'm going to pick Pitt again. I'm going to go on the same reasoning as last week. I mean, this is just a rivalry, these two teams. It's always close, in my opinion. Give me the Steelers.
Bobby, he's going to pick a game up on us here. They're going to cover, but I just can't see this Pittsburgh team that's as gritty as they are because they're not talented. They're just gritty. They just know how to win. Getting blown out 2 weeks in a row. I'm going to regret it if I don't pick Pittsburgh to cover because I do think it's going to be a close game. But, Bobby, you and I will probably both end up regretting picking Pittsburgh because Baltimore scores a lot of points and Pittsburgh kind of relies on defense.
We'll see. I hope, again, it doesn't really matter. I'm not winning either way, but hopefully the Ravens offense shows up. Eagles are 3.5-point favorites at the Commanders. How are the Commanders looking for a playoff spot? Do they need this one?
I believe they just need to win one of the last three.
Not true.
Not true?
No. If Atlanta wins out, you would need to win two of the last three because Atlanta would beat you and then have the head-to-head tiebreaker. So Atlanta still actually has a pretty good path to the playoffs if you guys get beat this week.
Yeah.
They would control their own destiny.
Commanders have Eagles, Falcons at home, and then out the Cowboys.
Yeah, which is we got flex to Sunday night next week, which is perfect because we're driving back from the Military Bowl that Sunday morning, so we'll be able to watch Sunday night football. I'll go ahead and start us off here.
Go for it.
My heart has my left hand up. My brain has my left hand down. The Eagles look so much better physically and just personnel-wise the last time we played. I don't see the Commanders. I think the Eagles win by a touchdown.
Eagles have won a lot of games in a row. That ends this week. Give me the Commanders at home.
Yeah, Bobby, I won't do what I did last time to you and play fly, Eagles, fly, but I am going to take the Eagles.
I also like that 3.5. I can see the Commanders losing by a field goal. I mean, the Eagles are definitely a much better team, but in the NFL, man, it's just hard to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games in a row the Eagles have. They are due to lose. I mean, they're good, but they're not that good. And maybe the refs will be in their pocket like they were for the Chargers last night. Cardinals at Panthers. Cardinals are a 5-point favorite. They need this game for the playoffs. We're going to let you start this one off, Phillip, because it's your Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers looked bad last week. 39 degrees. They're from the desert. It's hot. It's going to be an 11 a.m. kickoff. They're going to start a little slow. It's going to let the Panthers cover. Cardinals do win it outright, but 5's a lot of points. I think the Panthers lose this one 27-23, something like that.
I agree with you, Phillip. I think the Cardinals win. Cardinals money line, but I'm going to have the Panthers cover here. Any road win for the Cardinals has been within 3 points, so give me the Thurs to cover.
I'm going with the Panthers to cover as well. This is very scary, all three of us taking the Panthers to cover, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Carolina win here for the reasons Phillip mentions. Arizona is the most Jekyll and Hyde team. They did beat the Patriots last week, so maybe you see a letdown here, but I don't know.
Havelock could beat the Patriots.
This is true. Let's go. I'll go Panthers to cover. Final game, Vikings at Seahawks. Vikings are 3-point favorites. I'm not picking the Seahawks again. I don't even care if they win this game. I'm taking the Vikings. I'm tired of picking the Seahawks at home and then freaking just playing like absolute crap every time. Vikings.
Give me the 12th man. I'm going to go opposite of you. It's the NFL pick. So give me the Seahawks to get it done. I also don't trust the Vikings. They had a nice win on Monday Night Football. So going to Seattle, Seahawks get it done.
This is my upset pick for the week, baby. You got the Seahawks outright, not just a cover, but a victory. That's my underdog pick for the week.
Seahawks stink. So
they're bad, but
this will be the one time I don't pick
Sammy
them and they
D's
win.
due for a bad game.
This is true. And the Seattle is too good at home to keep throwing up these stinkers. But I refuse to pick them again. Whopping 2 points for the Broncos defense last night in fantasy. Will Jennings says, glad I didn't start them. That's why you listened to us. Yep. We gave you that advice. I didn't expect that performance. But good luck to your Packers D on Monday night. And Shores also said he's glad he did. He's glad he played against the Broncos in fantasy.
Saints Packers is Monday Night Football?
Yep.
Who made this schedule? Can they not flex something?
They can flex.
They should have.
What the hell?
I don't get it.
You know what it is? The Packers are a national fan base. They're not going to take them out of prime time, but that's
bad.
I'm going to find something. I think there's a bowl game on. I don't know who it is, but I'm going to watch it.
I don't know. At that Monday night, they probably wouldn't run a bowl game against Monday Night
No,
Football.
they usually don't, but I think maybe maybe it's Tuesday night. Yeah, maybe it's Monday. Dang it.
Just because ESPN owns all the bowl games, so.
Good point. Well, I guess I'm going to
Monday,
find something else to do.
You've got morning bowl and afternoon bowl, and then Monday Night Football.
Can we flex the NFL game to the middle of the day and put one of the bowl games at night or something?
Are your Bruins playing?
I don't know the schedule that far out. I know what our next game is, but
put the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Just schedule for an 11 a.m. start. Put that at prime time. Flip it with Monday Night Football.
Yep.
Monday
Bruins Capitals.
Football.
That's what it is. Thank you, Bobby. I will be watching the Bruins and the Capitals.
All right, we got to get a break in. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the show. Talk about next week's schedule and more. This is Hoist the Colors.
This holiday season, get the gift you really want at Greenville Toyota. It's our holiday trade-up. Drive a new Corolla, just $229 a month, or a new Tacoma, only $329 a month. During the holiday trade-up at Greenville Toyota.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Show off. Mountain Dew.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Everybody loves tiebreakers.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked to order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
Unwrap a new Toyota for the holidays at Greenville Toyota. It's our holiday trade-up. Get a new Camry, $269 a month, or a new RAV4, $329 a month. Trade up and save at Greenville Toyota.
The Pirates play here. Arr! This is Hoist the Colors Radio with Stephen Igo.
Yes! That was so good!
On 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment here of the show. Hoist the Colors. And we got Bobby Harvard brought to you by Basil's, Philip Pilkington, Behind the Glass. A few minutes left. Grant Matthews in the comment section says, if you would have told me that Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts were going to have similar stats at this point in the season, I wouldn't have believed you. And Jansen Kidd says, every time I hear y'all say your Bruins to Philip, I throw up a little bit. Who are you a fan of, Jansen?
The Hurricanes.
Okay.
Yep.
So he's a Hurricanes guy?
So Jance is a big hockey guy in general. So whenever there's like a trade rumor with the Hurricanes, I always say, hey, is this guy any good? Because he knows
he knows hockey.
Yeah, hockey's his deal. Like that's big sports fan in general, but hockey's specifically.
I was looking at the commentator schedule for bowl season to see who was calling the ECU game. Have y'all heard of Jay Alter or Rocky Boyman? I feel like I've heard Rocky Boyman. I feel like these are the guys who usually call like MAC football on a Tuesday.
Rocky Boyman sounds like a cartoon character from the 60s.
Sounds like a linebacker from Oklahoma.
Too.
Jay Alter, Rocky Boyman in the booth, Alex Chappelle on the sideline. So
I know who Dave Chappelle is.
Rocky Boyman... Rocky Boyman was a American football linebacker who played at Notre Dame.
Still Midwest.
Yeah. He went to the same high school as Luke Kuechly, St. Xavier in Cincinnati. So he has been an ESPN color commentator for several years now, apparently. So that is who will be calling the I expected better. I was hoping for like some Dave Pash.
I wanted a niche. I'm a big Anish Shroff fan.
But you have 8 games on that day, all on ESPN, I believe. So there's a lot of games to cover. By the way, so our plan as of now, we discussed it. So programming for next week, we are off all week until Friday, where we'll have a 2-hour special beginning at 12 noon is the plan for next Friday. I'll be in Annapolis from my hotel room. Hopefully good internet connection. Last time I had to use my hotspot in Tulsa. So ate up some bandwidth there. But the plan is to do a 2-hour special that Friday on the 27th, noon to 2. We'll have the military bowl preview, and then we'll have our game picks for all the bowl games that Saturday and that Friday. We'll do that. There's a lot of bowl picks, but we'll get them in, and then we'll do NFL picks as well. Does that sound good?
Sounds good. Yep, I will be V-mixing in from the senior Harvard residence.
Works for me. I'll be here. I will leave Charlotte at some point that morning, and enough time to make it here. And I may or may not be feeling good. I'll be here.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask, do we have any other programming? Patrick Johnson show. I know the Logan Zone were rerunning the holiday show.
Yes, we're rerunning that holiday show on Thursday for Logan. PJ, he's same as us. He's off Monday through Thursday. We're doing a show Friday. That as of now is at 5. There's rumor there could be like a coaches show potential thing, 5 or 6 on Friday, but none of that's confirmed. So yeah, that's what we got. Kind of, I know it's not really a straight answer, but that's what I got.
I'm assuming we're texting in our Christmas NFL game picks to each other.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
We'll do that. So we'll keep track of the picks, and maybe I'll make a miraculous comeback by the time we take the air again. All right, Bobby, appreciate you as always, man.
Yep,
Thanks for coming in a little early and knocking this thing out. Philip, thanks to you as always.
Of course, thanks for having me on.
And Shores says thanks for keeping us updated today, and shout out to Philip on the boards. Killer production quality as usual. So
thank you, I appreciate it.
Shores
Glad I got some fans.
Is all about it. All right, we got to get out of here. We'll see you next Friday for the Military Bowl special.
This has been Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo. Tune in weekdays at noon for all things ECU sports. Get a recap of the show at 943thegame.com, on Twitter, Facebook, or anywhere you get your podcasts. We're back tomorrow with more of Hoist the Colors on 943 The Game.